West Coast Johnny, how you doing? So today I'm wrapping up all the welding project that I've been working on. I'm making like a big patio awning framing, and I'm welding it all together in sections. And it'll be done today, but let me go show you what I'm doing. And let me show you the wall and how the rock is going up that I started. You're gonna love it, stick around. Okay, here's the fourth panel that I built, and I just finished sanding the welds down, throwing a little bit of primer on there because, you know, it was galvanized, and now it's not, and I don't want it to rust. I'm gonna paint these though, but there's that one there, that's the fourth one. I built these three in the last couple days. This was the original one from the first video. Then I made these two in the last couple days. I have one left to make. That's what all this material is. But it's only gonna be 1.5 feet wide because our wall, our roof is gonna be 25.5 feet across. So let me show you that wall too. All right, so here's the sound wall. From the first video, this is it. It's almost 9 feet high, it's 30 feet across, and then it jogs down up about 9 inches, and it goes over another 8 feet. And I started putting all this rock on beginning of, the end of last spring, and I was into the summer, and it started getting so hot I had to stop. Because this, believe it or not, is more time consuming than building the whole wall and everything else. You have to go really slow. The way you put these, if you want to do it right and not have giant grout lines, which are going to be ugly, you want to first start at the bottom, and then you go like this up, and then you start filling the pieces. You go over and up, over and up, over and up. You just can't start putting them like that because you're going to end up with a bunch of little spaces that look like big triangles, and you won't have anything to put in there unless you just fill it with grout or break one of these manufactured stones, and you don't want to do that. So it just takes a little time, see? And you can stack them. Like, see how I made like this big vein in the rocks? It took a while to figure that out, but now you have to put them up one at a time. I'm going to have a whole video about it, but let me show you what's going on. So right here, see that block of wood? That is the marker where we're going to have a pole coming up, and then over here in the middle, another block. That's just going to be a marker, and then here's our last one down on this end. So the stone goes all the way across, but then the patio awning is going to go, there's going to be a little jog, a little pole here, a pole here, and a little pole there, and then another pole all the way across on top of that, and then that's what our sections that we've welded outside are going to sit on, and that's our roof framing. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to finish this, the fifth and final small panel. So the blade I'm cutting the material with, it is a little blade made just for metal. And sometimes I use these big discs, but you know what? All the difference in the world. This cuts it like butter effortlessly. I actually have to go slow on purpose so I don't push too hard. But here, I'm like holding my handle down, pushing forever to get it to cut through. Now, it could just be because it's not a very good brand. However, I'm telling you all the difference. Just spend the extra money, buy yourself a metal cutting blade. So, okay, we're laying it out right now. This is going to be 18 inches across, exactly. So I'm laying them out right now. Okay, now here is our layout. It's exactly 18 inches, 12 feet long, and I'm just squaring things up. The driveway is obviously crooked. That's why it's raised on that end, not on this end. And when we put all of our levels on everything and square up our corners, then we're going to go ahead and weld. But the first thing I got to do is take each one of these pieces, and I have to deburr the ends, grind off the galvanized zinc coating with I have like an air grinder. So I'm going to do that. Otherwise the welds aren't going to penetrate very well. Okay, I got my layup all ready to be welded, except the center piece. It's not in yet. It's just sitting there, but it's been cut. And so we are like basically really level on both sides, okay? And that's exactly what you want. But what's more important than that, well, just as important, is making sure your corners are square. And you want to get something like this. See, that's great. Now earlier it was like this. It was just like this. Doesn't look like much, but down on the other end it was almost an inch off. So now it's nice and straight, nice and square. Now we can begin our welding. Okay, well, it's a couple days later. I want to give you an update. So after I finished welding all 5 of these big frames together, there's 2 over there, 1 here, 1 here, 1 there. I went and bought some metal primer at Home Depot, specifically, it's a brush paint specifically for metal. And it said all I had to do is be clean, and it said galvanized, no problem. So I brushed it all on both sides, and then I noticed when I started to do the last one over here that when I walked by and bumped it, a big piece peeled off. So then as I looked at it upon closer inspection, I rubbed my fingernail on it, and it was literally just coming right off. See that? It's just literally coming right off. So I'm sanding it all off now. Once I get all these sanded down, then I'll just have a very raw, galvanized 40 grit finish. Got to line up the holes. Watch how easy the paint comes out. I'm using 40 grit sandpaper. I'm using 40 grit sandpaper for 2 reasons. It's taken the primer off really easy. So Rust-Oleum is what I'm going to use. Really even sticky, and this is the satin white. And I already put my first coat on, very light coat. Doesn't have to cover everything. It's just a very light first coat. And I wanted to see how it would stick to the sanded galvanized. And I've been trying to scratch the paint off with my nail, and I can't. So it's really adhering well, which is great. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue painting these 2. And if I can get to the other 2 today, that would be great.